Let me ask you something. What if the rule you've been told to follow in retirement, the one rule that's supposed to keep you from running out of money, is actually the very thing keeping you from living the retirement you worked 30 years to build? Here's what I mean. Most people who are within 5 to 10 years of retirement have heard of the 4% rule. Their advisor has mentioned it. They've Googled it. They've maybe even built their whole retirement spending plan around it. And on the surface, it sounds reasonable. Take out no more than 4% of your portfolio each year, and statistically, your money should last 30 years. But what if you didn't have to? What if you could spend more and you could do it all with confidence instead of fear? That's exactly what we're covering today. I'm going to show you how building a guaranteed income floor doesn't just protect your retirement, it can actually unlock higher, more confident spending from everything you've saved. Stay with me. This one could genuinely change the way you think about retirement income. Alright, let's start at the beginning. Because before we can talk about going beyond the 4% rule, we need to make sure we understand what it actually is, and more importantly, what it was designed to do. Back in 1994, a financial planner named William Bengen was trying to answer a very specific question. How much can a retiree safely withdraw from an investment portfolio each year without running out of money during retirement? He backtested decades of historical market data, including some of the worst stretches in American financial history, and he landed on 4%. Withdraw 4% in your first year of retirement. Then adjust that dollar amount up slightly for inflation each year. And based on historical data, your portfolio had a very high probability of lasting. A few years later, a group of researchers published what became known as the Trinity Study, and they largely confirmed his findings. And just like that, the 4% rule was born. And it has been the dominant framework for retirement income planning ever since. There's one more piece to this. The 4% rule was built with a specific assumption baked in, that your entire retirement income has to come from your investment portfolio. No pension, no guaranteed income source filling in the gaps, just you, your portfolio, and the market. And that assumption right there is where we find the opportunity. I want to share something with you that might feel a little uncomfortable, but I think it's important. Research from some of the largest financial institutions in the country, including analysis by BlackRock, has found that most retirees consistently underspend relative to what they could safely withdraw. Not slightly, significantly. In fact, studies have shown that the typical retiree spends down less than 20% of their financial assets over the course of their entire retirement. That means the majority of what they saved, they took with them when they left. Now, some of that is intentional. Some people genuinely want to leave a legacy for their children or grandchildren, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But for most retirees, that pattern isn't a choice, it's fear. The question is, what creates that fear and what removes it? Almost always, the answer comes down to one thing: certainty. When people know their essential needs are covered, no matter what the market does, no matter how long they live, they spend more freely and more confidently from everything else. That certainty comes from having a guaranteed income floor. Let me show you how this actually works in practice, because the math here is genuinely powerful. I want you to think about your retirement income in two buckets. Bucket 1 is your floor. This is the money that covers your essential, non-negotiable monthly expenses: housing, food, utilities, insurance, healthcare costs. The bills that have to be paid no matter what, regardless of whether the market is up, down, or sideways. This bucket needs to be filled with guaranteed income. Income that doesn't depend on market performance. Income that you cannot outlive. Income that shows up every single month like clockwork. Bucket 2 is your upside. This is your investment portfolio, your IRA, your 401k rollover, any other market-based savings you have. This is where growth happens. This is what you draw from for travel, hobbies, gifts, helping family, and enjoying life. Now, here's the key question. What changes when bucket 1 is fully funded by guaranteed income? Everything. When your essential expenses are covered by sources that cannot run dry, your investment portfolio is released from the most dangerous job it was carrying, survival duty. Under the 4% rule framework, your portfolio is doing two jobs at once. It's supposed to grow, and it's supposed to be your only lifeline if everything goes wrong. That dual pressure is exactly what forces conservative withdrawal rates. But when bucket 1, the floor, is handled by guaranteed income, your portfolio only has one job now: to enhance your life, to fund your wants, not just your needs. And that shift allows you to withdraw from that portfolio at a meaningfully higher rate, because the consequences of a bad market year are no longer catastrophic. You don't have to sell investments at depressed prices to pay your light bill. Your light bill is already covered. Let's put some numbers around this. Say you have $600,000 saved in a rollover IRA. Under the strict 4% rule, you're looking at $24,000 a year or $2,000 a month from your portfolio. Now let's say you allocate a portion of that IRA into a fixed indexed annuity with an income rider, and between that guaranteed payout and an optimized Social Security benefit, your essential floor is fully funded. That is, your required bills are guaranteed to be paid. The remaining portfolio, let's say $350,000, no longer needs to carry survival risk. Research from retirement income specialists suggests that when a guaranteed income floor is in place, the withdrawal rate from the remaining portfolio can safely move well above 4% in many cases, to 5%, 6%, or higher, because the sequence of returns risk that makes 4% necessary in the first place has been dramatically reduced. That's not reckless spending, that's math. That's what happens when you engineer your retirement correctly. So let's talk about one of the most powerful tools available for building that income floor, and one of the most misunderstood products in the financial services industry: the Fixed Indexed Annuity, or FIA. I want to be straightforward with you about what a fixed indexed annuity is and what it isn't, because there's a lot of noise out there and you deserve a clear explanation. A fixed indexed annuity is an insurance product. You purchase it with a lump sum, often from a rollover IRA or 401k, and in exchange, the insurance company makes you specific contractual guarantees. Here's how it works. The growth inside the annuity is linked to a market index. The S&P 500 is a common one. But you're not actually invested in the market. You're not buying stocks. What you're getting is the opportunity to earn interest based on how that index performs, up to a defined cap or participation rate, while your principal is protected. That means in a year when the market drops 25%, your annuity value doesn't drop with it. You earn zero, not negative 25. Zero. And in a year when the market is up 18%, you might earn up to your cap, perhaps 8%, 10%, or 12%, depending on the product. And that gain locks in. It becomes part of your protected value. That's the core structure. Growth potential on the upside, a contractual floor of zero on the downside. Now, the piece that makes FIAs particularly powerful for building a retirement income floor is something called an income rider, sometimes referred to as a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit, or GLWB. When you add an income rider to a fixed index annuity, the insurance company provides a separate growing income base, often growing at 5%, 6%, 7%, or more per year, guaranteed, regardless of market performance. When you're ready to turn on income, that base determines how much you'll receive every single month for the rest of your life. Even if the account's value eventually goes to zero, the income continues. You cannot outlive it. That's the guarantee. For pre-retirees and retirees, particularly those with rollover IRA or 401k funds between roughly $200,000 and $1 million or more, a fixed index annuity with an income rider can serve as a personal pension. It funds your income floor. It removes sequence of returns risk from the equation, and it frees the rest of your portfolio to work harder. One thing I want to be clear about: I am not suggesting you put all your money into an annuity. That would be inappropriate, and frankly, no reputable advisor should recommend that. Fixed index annuities are designed to fund a portion of your retirement, the floor, the essential piece, so that everything else you built can do exactly what you want it to do. Now let's talk about the foundation of your income floor, because for most Americans it's already built in. It's called Social Security. Social Security is one of the most valuable assets a retiree has, and ironically, one of the most frequently mismanaged. Here's why it matters so much in this conversation. Social Security is guaranteed income. It's inflation adjusted, which means it goes up each year with the cost of living, and it lasts for the rest of your life. You cannot outlive it. That makes it the single most powerful building block of your income floor. But the amount you receive and when you receive it depends on when you claim. Here's the basic framework. You can claim as early as 62. You can claim at your full retirement age, which for most people listening to this is between 66 and 67. Or you can delay all the way to age 70. For every year past your full retirement age that you wait, your benefit grows by approximately 8%, guaranteed. That's not a market return. That's a contractual increase, backed by the federal government. Now here's where the fixed indexed annuity strategy and Social Security optimization connect in a really powerful way. Many people feel like they can't delay Social Security. They need income now. They're retiring at 62 or 64, and waiting until 70 feels impossible. That is exactly where an FIA with an income rider can bridge the gap. You activate the fixed index annuity income stream at retirement. It covers your essential expenses during the bridge years while you wait. At 70, Social Security turns on at its maximum benefit. At that point, your income floor is incredibly strong. And depending on your situation, you may not even need the fixed index annuity income stream to continue at the same level. This is why retirement planning isn't just about investments. It's about coordinating all of your income sources, Social Security, your annuity, your portfolio, in a sequence that maximizes what you keep and minimizes what you hand back in taxes and premiums. If what we talked about today resonates with you, if you're in your 50s or 60s, you have money in an IRA or 401k, and you've been thinking about retirement but you're not sure your current plan is as strong as it could be, I want to invite you to take one next step. Visit the link in the description box to get a free booklet called Retire Smart. It's available on the website. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Retirement Security Simplified. Every week we cover topics that matter for people in or near retirement: Social Security timing, Medicare strategy, tax efficient income, RMD planning, and more. All of it explained simply, without the jargon, without the Wall Street spin. Hit that subscribe button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm Shonda Prescott. This is Retirement Security Simplified, where we specialize in turning confusion into confidence, one conversation at a time.